These remarkable pictures have never been seen until now. Obtained by CNN, they show a relaxed, smiling Osama bin Laden at his hideout in the mountains of Afghanistan, 5 years before he would launch the biggest terror attack in American history.
When I met him, when I interviewed him, he wasn't actually, yes, he hated America. He hated actually the American policies in the Middle East. But it never occurred to me that he will be, planning for 11th of September attacks, for example.
Abdel Bari Atwan, the first journalist to ever interview Osama bin Laden, took many of these exclusive pictures. He's seen here with a high-ranking al-Qaeda jihadist who was there during the interview. After a harrowing 7-hour journey through the Tora Bora Mountains, Atwan arrived at bin Laden's secret retreat under heavy security.
I remember there was a military maneuver half an hour after I arrived, and when I asked them why is that, they said, because we were scared that the Americans could follow you and they could actually bomb us.
CNN has obtained these photos at the same time the world is learning more about the al-Qaeda mastermind from letters and documents found at his compound by SEAL Team 6 the night he was killed. Those documents, released as evidence in a federal terror trial, paint the picture of a man increasingly fearful of drone strikes and concerned about his crumbling organization. But Atwan says he saw a very different young man when he met bin Laden in the 90s.
He is a very, very humble, and he is like everybody else around him. Despite being a very wealthy man, his clothes were very modest. His food was actually very, very primitive food. It was just the fried eggs and some rotten cheese.
Despite his modesty, bin Laden liked to show off some of his most prized possessions, like the rifle he was carrying in this picture.
He showed me his Kalashnikov, his rifle actually. He said he's proud of this rifle because he captured it from a Soviet general he killed.
This picture captures bin Laden giving Atwan a tour of his land he was so proud of, and that would later become his safe haven right after 9/11.
We walked for more than an hour and a half in the mountains of Tora Bora, and he was very, very active.
Atwan says he even spent 2 sleepless nights in a cave with the terror leader.
A very, very old and very stiff mattress. So I really couldn't sleep. I discovered that I was sleeping on an arsenal of weapons, hand grenades, rifles, and so I couldn't sleep. I thought maybe any mistake, I will be blown up completely.
This is the best thing that's happened to typing since electricity.
In the 1960s, typewriters like the IBM Selectric were the pinnacle of office technology.
We still sell these. We, of course, service them.
Hard to believe the same IBM Selectric is still being used today.
Law offices, accounting firms, book publishers, people are still used to typing an envelope or a label.
Even the New York Police Department still uses them.
Currently, some forms are still required to be typed, so we still do have typewriters.
This is an old-fashioned ribbon that they don't make anymore.
At Gramercy Typewriters in New York, the old machines are even clicking with younger fans.
Typewriters have been making another resurgence. People are asking about typewriters. They're coming in.
It's keeping Paul and his son Justin knee-deep in the machines. Gramercy sells up to 30 a week, and they can service 10 to 15 a day. They're cheaper than most modern computers. A working IBM costs about $400.
But of course, the older they get, the more expensive they get. This Underwood is just under 100 years old, and it would probably sell for around $600.
I'm writing you on an Underwood portable.
Frank Underwood in the Netflix series House of Cards is a fan, as is actor Tom Hanks, a regular customer here.
Comes in from time to time, yes.
Hanks loves typewriters so much, he's even launched an app that replicates the experience. While 55 years in the business have left Paul with blackened fingers, he's not ready to retire. And neither, he says, is the typewriter.
There's still a need for a typewriter, and that people are still going to want a typewriter. And I could see this going on for years.
Claire Sebastian, CNN, New York.